All right. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Dougie here, also known as GLR Racer 14. And so let's going to do a quick audio check. All right. So everything is working. All right. So thanks, everybody, for joining in. And we will try to compose ourselves so we can get along with what we're doing here. So, all right. So, send a couple of links and everything. Again, hello, this is Dougie here, also known as GLR Racer 14. Some people may know my other channel, but we're doing this today on the Guinness Lounge Racing YouTube channel. So, just a quick rundown. So, we are about a month or so since Gran Turismo 7 has released, and we have had the trials and the tribulations of this new game. It is not Gran Turismo's sport, as we have. Some people were hoping that it wasn't, and some people were hoping it would go back to what it is, a little bit of more of a throwback to the original Gran Turismo. It looks more like Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 6, Gran Turismo 1. Which I don't know that I played a whole lot of Gran Turismo 1. I know I did. I didn't have that console for very long, but when I say Gran Turismo 6, I played a lot. So, again, some of our experiences with it so far have been good and bad, and they have been somewhat addressed and somewhat promised to be addressed. So, again, so the game rolled out. A lot of people were, I guess, just, really, really excited about it. So, but then a lot of disappointment because, it was given out to a lot of influencers to try out and start doing little leak videos and this and that. And even them, or even they had, some concerns. Some were just being very, try not to burn bridges with Polyphony about the game. But did see some concerning parts to it. So I think probably, you start off here in the cafe. It's pretty much where you have to start off, and you get menu books. And as you go through, all the menu books, there are 39 menu books, and it's a way of collecting cars, basically, which is a huge part of this game, collecting cars. And you can either buy them or you can do simple little races and acquire them. And then that's kind of a way that I think a lot of people were kind of didn't. The economy in the game, which became a bigger contention later, the economy, how you buy cars and how they're priced and that sort of stuff. So as you do the licensing, as you do the menus, you acquire the inexpensive cars. Some are more expensive, as you get up, up the way, but some don't. And some of these menu bits, you don't acquire cars, you just do things. So, so that was the first part of it, and the interactions with these, with the NPCs or these menu hosts is kind of irritating. I don't really like it. I think it's kind of gimmicky, as you have somebody who's constantly interrupting your gameplay, coaching you and that sort of stuff. So, and then, so cafe is not it's not bad. It's just kind of like a speed bump into everything you need to do. Again, you're acquiring cars as you go, which is good. Unless you want to buy them. So, as the game came out, you had several different versions of it. You have a PS4 version, a PS5 version, a day one edition and then a limited edition 25th anniversary, which is what I bought, which luckily gives you a few cars and then gives you, 1.5 million credits, which is not a lot, not a lot of credits. So, you know, it, it's just not great. So, and then you have the used cars. That's where you're going to buy a lot of cars too. These come and they go, and you can see they sell out. They don't turn over very quickly. So, you know, some cars are only going to show up here in the used car market. They're not going to show up in Brand Central, like this Toyota Sprinter Toronto. It's only going to show up here. I don't believe that car shows up in Brand Central. A couple others, some of the old classic, hot hatches and the rust bucket cars and stuff, they don't show up like this Mustang Mach 1. I do not think that's in Brand Central. They're all mainly newer cars. DeLorean. I mean, here's a car that was, it's 500,000 credits. I think it's 500,000 credits brand new. It's 450 over here in the used car market. So it's not great. And then you come over to the license test. I mean, when you get in, you got to do Music Rally, which is really terrible because like I did, I streamed this. When I've turned the game on, I loaded it all up and I streamed it immediately. You're getting you're getting music, and so copyright strikes right away. So not happy about that. But you had to do Music Rally in order to get to here. And you have to do cafe in order to open up the world circuits. So as you come into world circuits, as luckily we have them all opened up, you can't just jump into this game and play. That's just not the way it was, and a lot of people did not like that you had to do the cafe missions to open up all the tracks. Like some of the Le Mans. Le Mans was like the last track you opened up. So we'll get to the tracks and some other things with that. There's kind of a lot of stuff to cover, but as a 1 month long journey into this game, it's been kind of weird. So again, cafe, you're getting cars, you're opening up different parts of the game as it goes. You open up, the showcase I think was there, but then you're going to open up scapes, take pictures. You're going to open up the tuning shop, GT Auto, your garage is already there, Brand Central, sport mode. Again, all of these things you have to do. You open up multiplayer, I think, after menu number 9. So it takes a while to get there, and we're going to discuss each one of these icons here as we go. Again, as we go to World Circuits, nothing really special there. In the World Circuits, this is where you're going to go, and you're going to get your tracks, all your tracks. So Willow Springs, you're going to have these different race series to do. Sunday Cup. Again, more of these are throwbacks to the older Gran Turismos. Really based on your PP performance parts. Oh my gosh. So basically, kind of limits where your performance parts is. Because again, there's so many different things that go in with this game. You also got your arcades. You can do your arcades at each track venue. Again, a lot of people who came from just Gran Turismo Sport. A lot of people only ever played Gran Turismo Sport because the PlayStation 4 only had one Gran Turismo. It didn't have any more. It just had one. So, as far as I remember, the PlayStation 4 only had one Gran Turismo, and that was Sport. The PlayStation 3, I believe, had two, GT5 and a GT6, I think. I'm not an expert, definitely not a Wikipedia here. So it's where you can do all your other things, circuit experience, time trials, drift trials, custom races, but you're going to do that at each track. So if you want to, do a time trial, you're going to have to know what track you want to do it at and go to that track. So again, going back to the Gran Turismo part of the Gran Turismo sport of this, a lot of people, there was a user interface driven user interface for Gran Turismo Sport. It's not present really in GT7. So very, again, quite a different user interface. And then also when you in the menu, when you're in cafe menus, it's going to give you these championships down here at the bottom. And again, this is where you're gonna earn cars, gonna earn money. So. And as you go, then you're going to go license test is really where the next thing is. You're going to go to license test. Your different international, national B and A, international B, international A, and super license. And these do have difficult ones. Each category has one or two that are a little tricky, but for the most part, they're, the two biggest license tests, the hardest license tests. Sorry. There's two main license tests that are really tricky: Super License 10 and International A License 10. These are the two trickiest ones of the bunch, but there are some that are tricky. So anyway, again, easy way to earn credits, earn cars. As you get, all bronze, you'll get a car. All gold will get you another car. So for some of these, we got, different cars. So for each license test, you can earn a car, up to 2 cars. So there's 10 cars right there you can earn. So again, a good filler, and I said this on my stream when I was doing it before. This is the main course. Everything here is the main course. The desserts are sport and lobbies. Those are the two that you're gonna play afterwards. You're gonna knock out missions. You're gonna knock out license tests. You're gonna do the cafe, and when you're done with that, all that's left is going to be sport mode and lobbies, and we'll talk about those. And then missions, they're supposed to be adding this again. This is part of an update or a part of an announcement of updates, and mission challenges will increase. And mission updates are very similar to what they kind of had in Gran Turismo Sport as part of the campaign or career mode. And again, more single event, single events. They get more difficult as they go, as you can tell by the chili peppers. Single chili, 2, 5, 3 and 4. So, and again, something to do, something to earn some credits, maybe earn a car. Escapes, nothing really changed there. They did add a lot of venues or places to take pictures at. Very, beautiful pictures. Great photography. You pretty much have a camera. It's kind of limited. You can't do everything. You can't change, the height. There's some things you can't do, but again, still pretty pictures. Showcase. Yeah, showcase. This is where you go and look for stuff. And this is some of the things that are kind of weird. Some of the things they changed the names of. Styles. This is car liveries. I'm sorry. And a style is not only just a car livery. Hey Matt, how you doing, man? Hey Cordell. So yeah, we got it working. So that's good. Yeah, S10 is the hardest of the bunch, Matt. As far as license tests, it's the hardest one. I've only got bronze on it, and that was barely bronze. And I tried to go back and do it, and I struggled. I struggled to get back. It's something you're gonna have to spend time on to get good at. typically what I end up doing is the first time I do it, I need to keep going at it to get good at it and knock it out. There are many guys have YouTube videos on just how to do that one license test. So, but styles is interesting because a style is not only the livery of the car, it's also what the car has put on it. So, like with this one, Toyota Supra, and it's telling you here you cannot be edited. Okay, so here's other ones. Cannot be edited. Here, wide car. So here's a Calisonic R32, and it has a wide body kit. It looks like it's been lowered, so they've actually added adjustable suspension and have lowered it. The wing on it looks like it's got something done to it, but and you can, the livery creator, the style creator, he can choose whether or not to, let you edit it, change it, or to not change it. So, you could theoretically you could start a livery and someone else could finish it, make it better, which is kind of interesting for guys that are just kind of not too good at liveries. They have a good idea and they start something, they get some good parts with it, somebody else can take it over and make it better. So anyway, so styles, now you have helmet liveries, suit liveries. Those were in GT Sport, escapes photos, race photos, decals, and replays. So everything there is like it was. So, sorry about that. And again, you have people that you can follow. I'm just going to look at this thing. People you can follow, you can look for stuff, the stuff that you have in your collection and your shared items. So some of that stuff is not different. Just the what it looks like, the format's a little different. So showcase is basically discover what it was in GT Sport. Tuning shop. Depending on the car you have, again, you're going to be buying parts for a specific car. One thing that I'm not a fan of is buying tires. You're buying tires for every car that you own. It's going to come with one set of tires. Like this is the Porsche 919 that I've got. It comes with one set of tires. Okay, so if I want hards and softs, I got to buy them. So if I'm doing a race, nations race, so, but with this car, if I'm doing a Nations Cup race or daily race, I'm going to need to buy these tires. So, kind of for me, that's kind of irritating. Other things, you better brakes. Okay, okay, you get drilled rotors, but you can't. Well, I can't buy them. So this car doesn't offer a whole lot of things to buy. That makes sense. It's a LMP. It's a prototype car. Shouldn't need a whole lot of things, but there are things. Wet tires. Okay, here, wet. I gotta buy tires, more tires. It gets kind of irritating. If you buy a rust bucket car, you can turn it into something pretty nice. You light in weight. You add better suspension. Like that Tuono. You buy that Tuono, you can make it pretty nice. Make a pretty nice car out of it. So yeah, it's anyway. So that's. But it really irritates me. So again, let's just say, like during manufacturer's test season right now for the Nations Cup or the manufacturers series they have going on. They don't call them FIAs anymore. I guess they don't have that accreditation. Anyway, so I use my example. I decided to choose Genesis. I went with Genesis for the first test season. So I had to buy tires for that car in order to compete in certain races or practice or whatever. Well, when I changed to a different manufacturer, those tires I bought, well, they're gone now. They're gone. That money is spent. It's gone. Okay, buy a brake controller. That's gone. Unless I buy that car again, I don't know, because I'm not going to buy that car again unless I somehow win it. That money is gone. And credits are one of the problems people have complained about with this game. So, again, the market's going to change with the game. Hopefully, they're going to change something with that. But it's another kind of gimmicky thing that they brought back, and I don't think they brought it back in a good way. So, GT Auto, here you can, but way back, throwback to the core of Gran Turismo. Wash your car, change your oil, overhaul your engine. It's 100,000 credits. Sorry. If you race your car a lot, you're gonna stress out the seams and the welds and everything else, so you can restore the rigidity. Again, when are you going to know you need to do that? When it's going to tell you here, body. It's excellent. Okay, so if I use the car a lot, it's going to start handling worse, I guess. And so I'm going to spend 30,000 credits to restore its rigidity. Wide body on most road cars, you can add a wide body kit, so that's pretty cool, kind of neat. That's Brand Central. Again, back to Brand Central. So let's see. Let's go to Toyota. All right. So what are those cars in the Toyota? No. So again, the Tuono, the Sprinter, some of the really old cars are not. They're not in there. So you're only going to be able to buy the classic cars at the used car dealership. So keep that in mind. If there's some car you lusted after, you're going to have to keep your eye out for it. In some cars, you're going to have to keep your eye out in the Legends too, because some of these cars are not available. The Supra GT 500 Supra, it's not in here. There's only one place you can buy that car, and that's in the Legends, Haggerty Legends car lot, and stuff gets expensive there. Oh yeah, I saw that livery in my news feed. It's really, really cool. We'll take a look at that. So manufacturers, same manufacturers, a couple new ones. Suzuki, I think they had the Swift Sport in GT Sport. So the 17 and this new car. This is a new car. Just a few new cars. This is front wheel drive Swift Sport. So pretty cool looking car. Again, it's front wheel drive, so it's going to have a certain niche. And again, okay, so we'll get into. So now we can get into one of the things that's a pretty big disappointment. And not so much of a disappointment in the Japanese cars. I mean, Toyota has, cars. Most of the Japanese brands are well represented. Say here, Genesis. Genesis was a new manufacturer. It's got a couple of new cars. Real car, concept car. Definitely It's an interesting car. This Genesis X. It looks like a Bentley, drives like a Fox body Mustang. Really light end, very spins up the rear wheels. So, but my biggest bone to pick is in Europe. Aston Martin. The newest car that they have for GT3/GR3s is a 2012 Vantage V12. The Vantage V8 Group 3 car that is currently racing right now was introduced in 2016. Well, I want to say it's 2015. That car's been out for a very, very, very long time, and it's still not in this game. So that's incredibly disappointing. There's absolutely no excuse, none, in my opinion, to still have this car as the premier Aston Martin. And this is just one of the cars. Again, here's my opinion, and I'm not alone in this. I'm just very disappointed. McLaren, another hugely disappointing effort here. 650S GT3. Great car, super old. I mean, the 750 has been out for 3 years, I think. The 750 has been out for a while. No reason that car should not be in this game. I mean, really disappointing. So disappointing. Jaguar doesn't have a GT3 car, so you can understand that. Well, this is AMG. There's Mercedes and AMG. AMG is pretty much all of the cars. Mercedes doesn't really have anything. Again, another car here. They have the AMG GT, which the current GT3 race car is based off of, but they have the old 2016 GT3. So 2019, 2020 is when the current car came out. No excuse. Really, seriously, no excuse. And probably the most glaring car in the whole of the Gran Turismo universe of race cars is right here. Again, my opinion, and there's some people who don't believe it, the 458 Italia GT3 from 2013. Incredibly, it's absolutely no excuse why the 488 GT3 and the 488 GT3 Evo is not in this game. I mean, this is a great car. I mean, 458 is a great car. He had enormous legacy, won a lot of races, but this is old. This is a dated car. It looks dated. It doesn't even, it still looks good, but okay. I should get off my soapbox on this, but no reason, none whatsoever, why the 488 is not in this game. Seriously. I mean, here's the F8 29. This is a 2019 car. They don't even have the 488 road car in here. It's insane. It's really insane. So if we can get off that little hobby horse, some of these other cars in here that, when it comes to race cars, you want to race the car that's currently being raced. They did add the Audi. They added the Audi, the R8 LMS Evo 2019. Okay, so it's still 3 or 4 years old, depending on how you consider model years. 3-year-old car, and it doesn't handle very well. It definitely is a dangerous car to drive, but it's 450 credits for the current car, 800,000 credits for the old car. So I don't understand the economy. I really don't get it. It's almost twice as much money for the old car. It doesn't make any sense, and they look almost identical, really, appearance-wise, and just still an R8. And so we can get off the car part of it. So that's a huge disappointment. Why we don't have more modern race cars in a game that's primarily about racing. So And let's see, we can go to sport mode. And this is not even my biggest contention. So sport mode, it's kind of weird. They go back and forth between BOP races and non-BOP races. Yeah, the Evo is terrible. It's a. I was really hoping that car was going to be good, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not. So, sport mode, they keep going back and forth, like I'm saying, with BOP races and non-BOP races. But one of the biggest issues with the BOP races is they typically, um, tuning, BOP tuning forbidding. So, okay, BOP it's pretty much it's a one button scenario. You apply BOP and you forbid tuning. So one of the things that they consider tuning is brake balance. So you can't adjust your brake balance in these races. So some cars are really dependent on brake balance because they do have tire wear. Tire wear is involved in this race. But can you or can you not adjust your brake balance? I've done this race, so I don't think you can. So, and that's mind blowing, really. So if you're in a rear-wheel drive car, you can't adjust your brake balance to the rear in order to save your front tires, or vice versa on a mid-engine car. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Did I say mind-boggling, like my mind's in a bottle, or did I say mind-boggling, like like a boggle? Anyway, so so I know I'm hitting the negative parts of this game. Um, um, but I haven't even hit the most negative parts of this game. So we'll go to some of the good parts of this game, because we're going to come back to the negative parts. Um, the graphics are amazing. The graphics are really they're tremendous. It just should be. It's it's the current generation console, so 4K, 60 hertz per second. It's great. Um, they have improve the physics of the game in some respects. It doesn't seem like the crash box physics is really bad. Seems like you can get your car a little bit closer to other cars before you make contact. Um, I'm going to preface that statement, or I should adjust that statement to say I have not really raced a lot of other people in this game because of the most glaring, and we're going to get there, the top most glaring problem with Gran Turismo 7. Um, so yeah, when I have raced other people, it does seem to be better. Um, off track, um, off track physics they're still pretty bad. Like if you go off say you go off on the infield in Daytona, you're going to be there for a while, so you're going to probably lose a lot of time. It's going to lose a lot of time. The car just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. It has zero grip even once you get off track. So, yeah. In addition to that, when you run sport mode, you crash into stuff and you get penalties for hitting barriers. And, guardrail, you get penalties. It's nuts. The penalty system is also way out of balance to where it used to be. You know, you touch barriers, you get super stiff penalties. Um, I do like the idea that if you cut the pit lane entrance and the exit lines, you get penalties for that. I think that's a just penalty. You get it in real life, in a real race. So, see what else we needed to cover. Oh yeah, Here's Legends cars. So Legends cars, they come and go, and they're incredibly expensive. So just yesterday, there were 3 cars sold out, and the only 2 cars available were the Chaparral here for 2.5 million credits, and the CLK, AMG CLK, for 6.2 million credits. Again, this is a car you can't buy in the Brand Central, so none of these cars show up in Brand Central. So you have to buy them here, or don't buy them at all. So, I mean, if somebody really wants the Abarth Posto, there it is for almost 1 million credits. Not bad. They did have the 1970 GTR, Skyline GTR, which I really wanted. It was actually a good price. I don't think it was just over 100,000 credits. Yeah, so I bought that one. The classic. $20 million for the Alfa Romeo 8C 2900B Touring Berlinetta. Didn't even know this car was going to be in the game, but for $20 million credits, I'll never buy it. Nah, never buy it. So many other cars I would buy for 20 million credits. I'd buy this car here. I'd probably buy the Aston Martin the DB3S. I never bought that car in Gran Turismo. It was even more expensive in Gran Turismo Sport. I mean, it was almost I think it was way more than 5 million credits over there. So, but this is where you're going to find certain cars, and you're rarely going to find them. Certain cars you're only ever going to find them over in the Legends lot or an invitation, and that's the only way you can buy certain cars. So let me show that here. And I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing this game, but it's very it's the best place to go to invitation cars. So Ferrari's always good for that. Probably they have the most invitation cars. So again, I had an invitation, which I let expire because I didn't want the car. Here, La Ferrari. It's an invitation only. This little icon right here. That right there. That tells you can only buy this car if you get an invitation to buy it. And you spend 1.6 million credits, which is not bad. The Enzo, 2.5 million credits. Not too bad. And then the FXXK for 3.6 million credits. So that's it. There's other cars that Ferrari has that are way more expensive, but again, you're only ever going to find them in the Legends lot. So yeah. I wonder what that topic. Yeah, you're going to find that topic out. We're going to get there. So let's deal with one of the other problems I have with this game. Again, I hate to bash this. It seems like I'm just going off on this game right now. It's a great game. It's still a good game. I mean, if you want a racing game, this is kind of where you can go. One of my biggest issues I have with this game. This isn't the biggest issue. This is one of the biggest. One of the two biggest ones, but it's not the biggest. The biggest one's coming up. So, I never owned this car. I'm going to change cars real quick. We're going to go to the garage. So we're going to the garage. I create a lot of liveries in Gran Turismo Sport. So some of the liveries I created, I had them for a long time in Gran Turismo Sport. And I would go back and I would tweak them, and I never shared them. I shared a lot of cars when I shared a lot of liveries just before stuff bridged over. They had a data transfer into Gran Turismo 7 from Gran Turismo Sport. So some of your liveries, you could get them, and they would show up. So again, this is one of the weird things. So when you're in the garage and you choose the car, so we're in the BMW M6. I'm in the garage, but I cannot change my livery while I'm in the garage. I can't really do anything. I can change the settings. I can make escape movies. And this is where you find out if you get your daily rewards for doing your mileage. You can see what tuning parts you have. I don't have any tuning parts for this car. So, and you can see your car collection. Another place you can see where all the cars are that you've collected. Kind of an unnecessary thing. I guess you can just see where you need to fill out all the different cars. There's the Skyline, like the car. But no, I can't change my liveries here. So I have to come out of the garage, and then I have to come down to GT Auto. Go over here to customize my car. I change my driving gear here. Customize my car. All right. So this is where we're going to either edit a livery or load a style from another livery creator. So this is a livery that I created in Gran Turismo Sport, and it transferred over. I was able to retrieve it and then edit it some more and then repost it. So the problem that I have with the livery editor is that it does not communicate itself very well. So when I go to livery editor, I can create a new design from the ground up, or I can go to open design, and I have a list of cars that I created in Gran Turismo Sport. So some of these liveries I created there, and it was not very well communicated as to how you would do this. So here's a livery. Here are some liveries up here. Where's the thumbnail image of what the car is? I don't know. If I click on it, let's say I click on this one here, Turner M6 IMSA GTD 496. Okay, where are all the decals at? They disappeared. Now, this car did have decals because it came over. I actually applied this livery and used it and took pictures with it. And then I made the mistake of not saving it as a style. But the livery's still there. So the thing that is infuriating to me is that when you save a livery in Livery Editor, so where does the livery go? It's not saved. It's not saved. It's not safe. It can disappear. So back to this list. Back to this list of open designs. So I tried to recreate that livery that I made before. Okay, so here's the thumbnail, and there it says that it's been imported by that little yellow tab. When I click on it again, same thing. Where the hell are all the decals at? Gone. Every one of them gone. The only thing that's saved is the paint, the different paint colors on the mirrors, the wing, and the body, and the hood. Gone. Wheel style, wheel stickers. Gone. Everything else, gone. So infuriating to me, really. So this livery, I did save it. That's why I have it as styles. That's why I have the styles here. But look, I mean, it doesn't communicate. It's really infuriating because you spend a lot of time creating liveries. And I've created liveries in GT7, and why is it that when you save a livery in Livery Editor, it says save it? It's just super confusing. I don't like it. I mean, the actual making liveries, it has a lot of good points. Or you can do things in that livery editor that you couldn't do in GT Sports livery editor. So the actual, when you're in it making liveries, is really cool. You can go in and search decals while you're creating it. But yeah, so it's livery editor is good when you're in it, but it's when you want to save your livery, you think you save it when you hit save. I save it, and then when you exit it, it asks you if you want to apply it, and you say yes. And then when you come out, you have to save it as a style. Well, why do I have to save it as a style if I saved the livery in Livery Editor? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So you have to do that so you can apply it. It's like, cool. Also, when you're saving it as a style, that's where you share it too. It's just kind of like they added an extra layer of stupidity. It's redundancy, and that redundancy causes problems because you lose stuff. You spend hours making a livery, and you forget to save it as a style, and next you go back in, and it's gone. It's it's retarded, and I really I really wish they would fix that, because I've lost a lot of time making liveries because of their dumb, clunky, you know, user interface for saving liveries. It's, that's again me bashing this game, but this is a part that really irritates me, because once I got good at making liveries, I made a lot of liveries in GT Sport, and I come over here and I have no desire to do it. I really don't. It sucked all my motivation to do liveries out. I really have no. I don't want to do them, because I think if I waste my time making them, I'll lose them. Even if I do everything that I think I'm supposed to do, I might go back and it's not there. So that's me off my high horse for that. So good points and bad points, but mainly bad points for livery editor. So again, this is going to be my last point, and this one's really bad for me, but it's not as bad as losing time making liveries and having them disappear on you. Multiplayer, primarily lobby. This is where, again, I'm going to go back to the point I made. I made this point before with Cordell. So GT7 as a whole, you have a main menu. I mean, you have an entree. The entree is cafe, licenses, missions, those things, because that's the core of the game. When you're done with that, what you're left with, unless they update it, is sport mode, daily races and FIAs, or whatever they want to call them. Those things, which change all the time. The only thing that's going to make you come back, there's two things that will make you keep playing this game. It's that and lobbies. That's just one thing that kept Gran Turismo Sport around a long time, was lobbies for people who ran leagues. Because when sport mode doesn't give you what you want, you have to do it yourself, and that was in lobbies. The lobby menu in Gran Turismo 7 is terrible. It's absolutely terribly broken. How they took Gran Turismo, some of the things that Gran Turismo Sport did really, really well, they ruined in Gran Turismo 7. So they did lobbies very well. There was only one or two things that needed to be fixed in lobbies, and they almost did it. I thought they did it, but they didn't. Lobbies are terrible. So the first thing that's a problem is you can't save settings. Okay? You can't save settings. You can't change settings as a lobby host. You can't change settings no matter what you do, but as a lobby host, i.e., or the reason that's important is if you're running a league, you want to be able to save your settings, so you have certain settings that are always going to be the same. Tire wear, number of laps, how much long it is going to be, all those things, off track, grip levels, slipstream, all those things that should never change in a league, should always stay the same. You can mess up if you have to do it this way, because you have to put all those settings in every time. Every time you create a lobby, you have to change the settings. You have to manually input them, every single one of them. So this is the same, that's the same, this is the same. All the stuff's the same. Okay, then you get into the weather. Okay, great addition. You can actually add dynamic weather. One of the great things they added with Gran Turismo 7, dynamic weather and time. So time changes, weather changes. Awesome. Very confusing as to how this works, but it isn't once you figure it out. Grid start, rolling start, all this stuff really stayed the same. Everything here stayed the same, but you don't have any other buttons. Load settings, save settings, gone. Why? No reason why. None. Absolutely no reason. Stupid decision. Why can't you just use Gran Turismo Sports lobby settings? The other thing that's really so if you're running a league, people can't save the settings you created so they can practice on their own. Okay, they want to practice on their own, practice as a team, whatever. They can't do it. So But you have other settings here. Land, you can. So what they did do that was really, really cool is that you can um, set required tires. So if you want to make people run hard tires, you can do it. You can make them use the hard tires. Um, what they didn't do that I wish they would have done is on the rolling start is to change the distance, like they said they were gonna do. They did it in FIAs. They made the certain tracks you have to have the grid really, really tight. Um, Spa's a huge reason. Spa right now, Spa is terrible because of that chicane. Terrible. So you want to tighten the group up, like in a real world. When you have all the cars on the straightaway before the start. I wish they would change that. So, but the biggest problems, because I like league racing. Like league racing is very, very fun, and they ruined it by um, not allowing you to save your settings and uh, uh, change your settings while you're in it. So, while you're, just say you're just doing a fun night of racing with your friends, um, and you're going to change the track after every race. You're going to put it up for a vote. Well, there's no vote. You can't vote the tracks like you could in sport. Again, terrible decision with the lobbies. I really hope they just completely trash GT7's lobbies. So, but that's just, you know, shout out to my pub guys, D&D, drinking and driving on Friday nights. That's where it's at. Yeah, and this is why we don't do it on GT7. You can't do it because every time you have to delay it. You have to exit out, create a whole new lobby, and reopen it, and everybody's got to jump back in again. So stupid. So stupid. Big massive fail. Massive fail. I mean, that fail is bigger than the livery editor fail to me. I mean, really. So, but um, those are really my biggest points. So again, we're a month into this game, and Polyphony has definitely, um, yeah, Matt. I don't understand it how it's not either. It really isn't. I mean, people paid a lot of money for this game, and there's some people who are just total apologists for Polyphony and all of that. Um, I mean, they Gran Turismo Sport wasn't perfect when it first started, and I don't know that because I didn't get it when it first came out. I didn't have Sport when it came out. I bought it later after everything was fixed. On a lot of things, some things were fixed, some things they never fix. You know, hint, penalty system. They really never fix that. And I don't think they're going to fix it in this game either. But how they can not bring things over that weren't really hugely advertised. You know, if they advertise this game as, oh, this is the real lobby simulator, that would be completely different. The lobbies were just a little part of that game that they did really well, and they couldn't even bring that over. Why they make it so difficult? I couldn't be brought over. So um, it's the user interface here. It looks really good, but it's still kind of clunky. I mean, why can't I change my livery for my car in the garage? I've got to go there to change a car, but then if I don't want it, I got to come here to change it. Like, I've got to go to Showcase to find it. Then I got to go here to change my car. Then I got to go here to put it on the car. All right, it's just so clunky. It's weird. Doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, I mean, I like the game. I'm I wouldn't bash it. Stuff is going to change. They're going to evolve. It's only a month in. Um, so, but some of the things I can't. They're just unacceptable. The lobbies is completely unacceptable. There's absolutely no reason. Um, uh, whether it's PS4, PS5 differences, that's very possible. It's very possible. Um, some people have said, some people have said they should have never brought this game out to to PlayStation 4. If that's the reason why things don't work really well, then yes, they shouldn't have brought it over. You know, they should have only coded it for PlayStation 5 because it's the lag. Even when you do a lobby, when you're in a lobby, the lag is terrible. And if that's you having to make up for people who are on PlayStation 4s running GT7, and we do have friends that can't get PlayStation 4s, can't get a PlayStation 5. Um, I feel bad for them because they can't get a PlayStation 5, and this game is great on it. You know, it looks wonderful, um, but it's kind of a cop out to be able to allow uh, to make the people who have PlayStation 5s suffer because of they having to dumb the game down for the old gen consoles. It doesn't make any. It's really you're hurting both. You're hurting both customers really. Nobody wins. The only people that win is Polyphony because they're selling units. You know, Sony, you know, is making the PlayStation 5s harder to get. You know, because everybody wants them. So um, I was lucky. I was lucky that I was able to get a PlayStation 5 before this game came out. It wasn't because I wanted to. My PlayStation 4 died. A lot of people's PlayStation 4s are dying right now because they're so bloody old. And so I got lucky and I was able to get one. I would not have probably have gotten a PlayStation 5, you know, for this game. Um, I would have just waited until I could get one easily. And again, it was just like I just got lucky and was able to get one. So, but mm, there's anything else to talk about with this game. Um, you know, can't really think of anything. I wrote down a little cheat sheet just to keep me on track. Um, you know, lobbies are the biggest thing I think I have a biggest issue with. Um, Livery editor, it's great if you're going to create a new design. Just make sure you save it as many times as you can. Um, uh, the the way the cars cost is kind of goofy. Apparently that's going to change. Um, New content. Well, new content. What's going to drop? You know, I wonder what they're going to release. You know, obviously they should have released more new cars with the game. I mean, they do have some that are really cool. I mean, I want to say Arkies or somebody went through and looked at all the new cars that they have. Um, there's not a lot of them. Ford had a couple cars. Um, the Focus RS is new. The Shelby GT350 is new. The Ford GTE race car is new. Here's where it gets weird with the pricing of cars. So the Ford GT, I always just call it the Ford GTE because that's what it is. 1 million credits. It's twice as much as other cars. No, twice as much as well, here it is. It's more than twice as much as the Group 3 Mustang, but it's not the most expensive. It's 1.2 for the old GT3 Ford GT. And then there's an even more expensive version, the throwback GT6. It's 1.6 million. That's crazy. Goofy. Chevy doesn't really have a whole lot of anything new. Well, they actually have a couple Corvettes. The ZR1 C6, that was not in GT Sport. The 2019 ZR1, and then that's it. So, you know, reasonably priced, and that's Dodge. Dodge has nothing. This is a huge miss. If it comes to cars, this is a huge miss. They have the Charger SRT Hellcat, but they don't have the Challenger. How do you not have the Challenger in here? I don't understand how you don't have that car in here. A whole bunch of Vipers. Oh, look at all the Vipers. And then there's Tomahawks. 4 different Tomahawks. 4 different Tomahawks. Doesn't make any sense. Crazy. You have Group X and Group. This is something that was over there in Gran Turismo Sportland. Doesn't make any sense. You have all these Tomahawks. Yeah, the Ford GTE is it's a very interesting car. It's super fast in a straight line. Um, try it at Le Mans. Try it at Le Mans and see what you think of it. It's really sketchy under brakes, and if you can't adjust the brake balance, then it's really it's a death trap. The Porsche is much better, but it's also a car very biased. It really needs brake balance. Infinity Tesla, these they added DeLorean, Chaparral Whip. Not a lot of cars there. It's just some really goofy off the wall cars. Again, we already went through, Jaguar doesn't have anything, nothing new, nothing really new. AMG, it does have a couple cars in here that are new. That was in GT Sport. This C-Class C63, that's new. It's a really cool car. Something surprising they didn't have before. What's this car? Was this car in the GT Sport? GTR, I think maybe it was. Still cool car. It's a very nice car. The Black Series GT, beautiful car. I had to buy that one. 420,000 credits. It's a wonderful car. Again, after that, where's the pig at? The car they added. I guess that's one of the cars that's going to show up in the Legends. That car was what, $2 million. The spa car from the 70s. That 4-door thing, they called it the pig. Rough only has one car, I think. I thought they had cars in sport. Yeah, it's just the one, the CTR. And Ferrari has a couple new cars. Well, new, they're new to this game, or new from GT Sport. Lamborghini, again, that Huracan GT3 is outdated. The Fiats and the Barths and some of these other ones. Maserati, why there's no Maserati GT4, GT3 car in here? They only have one, the Quattro, the Gran Turismo. Why they don't have a race car, I have no idea. The MC12 or any other cars they have, I don't understand it. Renault, Peugeot, Citroën, whatever. Alpine has a GT4 car, all right, and they have some GT1 cars or prototype cars. There's a lot of cars that they could have had. Toyota has plenty of cars. There's not, they don't really need to add anything. They got like a handful of GTs, 86s. Yeah. Yeah. We won't go into this Group 4 car that's got a street car interior in it. Horrible. What group? Yeah, let's see. Go to my garage. I think I have 5 Group 3 cars. Let's sort by category. Group 3s. Yeah, I bought the M6 thinking we could do EDTM, so I bought the M6. I got the R8. I bought the Ford. That was the car I told myself I would absolutely buy, and I spent the $1 million to buy the Ford. And then I got the RX Vision as part of the 25th anniversary, and then the Supra GT500. So again, I don't know that I would be able to afford this car, because of the it's going to be an expensive car when it hits the Legends. And then I signed with Mazda, So I have those two are duplicates. So and two I purchased. Those two. That's all I have for that. Group 3s, I bought the Sylvia. I had to buy that. After I drove that in the license test, I really had to have that. I signed with Mazda, got that. I had to buy that one. I have too many liveries for that car. I needed a front-wheel drive car, and then I got that for license test. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I had to buy, what the heck? It says I had to buy this one too, the RCF Group 2 car. I had to buy that one. I don't know why, I just had to have it. Yeah, that's how you get the Stealth Edition. The Stealth Edition comes with the 25th anniversary. Uh, yeah, and you get the Supra GT 500 and the GR Yaris. Those are the three cars I think you get with that. And it's just a you can probably find that same livery. It's just a livery. That's all it is. It's just different paint color. I mean, you could do it. You could do it in livery editor to make it. It's just it doesn't do any. It's not anything different than the standard car. So, but yeah. But this is a livery here that it transferred over that I made in GT Sport, and that's the one I used for the um, DTR, um, a 2-hour DTR race. That's the one I used that one. Yeah. So I had to have that one. Yep. I don't know. I don't know, Matt. I don't know how much that car is. It's going to be expensive. It goes right along with the GT 500 All Japan GTR, the Nissan GTR, the Pennzoil car that everybody's wondering where it's at because everybody wants that car. It's going to be expensive. It's going to probably be, I'd probably say 5 million credits. So start saving your credits for that one because when it pops up, you're gonna be shortchanged. You have to try to grind for that one if you can. So no, it's not in Range Central. I can double. You can look. I just looked over there. It's not there. Brand Central, Toyota. The Nissan's not there either. Toyota. Yep. Yep. So a TSO 50, VGT, TSO 30. Yep. There's the racing the new one, the current Supra, and then that's it. Then the same with the Nissan. Got a Nissan. It's not there either. Got the Vision, the lawn tractor. That's the Autobox GT500. So that's not the 99. I think is what that one is. I think that's not there. So these are like the kind of new. Well, they're not even new, but these are the ones we had. The Group 2s. That's a Group 3. So the Group 3s. There's again another car, super old, 2013. They had a 2016 version, I think, of this car, and so I have it in an Assetto Corsa, but we don't need to go down that road. So there's the Sylvia. That's a new car, and the rest of these there's the new the 400Z, Z400, whatever the heck they call it. So only 69,000 credits. Not bad. Not a bad deal. If you want that car, I figure a weight on it. Maybe I can get it given to me. So, come on now, Matt. Now, we discussed this in several discords. You know, we were sleeping that day, but yeah. No, I understand. It's a stretch. It's a stretch to go from a $70 game to a $100 game. You know, um, especially when you look at what the prices of stuff are. If you decided it, you know that when that car drops, when that super drops, it's going to be expensive, and you're going to have two options. One is to grind for credits for a couple days to get it. Hopefully, it doesn't sell out or it gets replaced, or spend actual money buying credits in the Play Store. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of the way this game is. It's kind of terrible, I think. So, in some respects, in some respects. So, but I have talked long enough. If there's anything, anybody that watches this later, if there's anything you guys want to know about this game, please just leave a comment, and somebody in Guinness Lounge will answer your question, point you in the right direction, and please hit the like button and the subscribe button. We're try to get a little bit more content going over here. We got races coming up. We got series we want to kick off. If only Gran Turismo 7 had a better lobby situation, maybe we would. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I I mean I'm a bit older than your average current gamer, but I have a lot of memories of playing car games. I had a PlayStation 1. I have all my consoles. I have all the PlayStations, every one of them. I still have them. I don't have as many games for them because I didn't buy a lot of games. But Ridge Racer, I love Ridge Racer. And when I go back through because I have a majority of the games that I bought, um, and I think I have Gran Turismo. I really have a lot of Gran Turismos because I wasn't into car racing at the time. I was more into motorcycle racing and flight sims. So that's why I'm called Racer. So, but the Supra was a Supra. The Castrol Supra is super iconic. Uh, kind of surprised you didn't get a choice. They should have gave because the GTR was most people only know about the GTR, um, the Americans at least. The only Americans learned about the GTR in the video game. You know, the Supra. We had the Supra in America, and a lot of people knew how badass the Supra was. The GTR, we had no idea it existed until it showed up on Gran Turismo. So, I mean, for Americans, the GTR is more iconic than the Supra because we had the Supra. Again, saying that. So, I mean, if I had the choice, if I would have been nice to get the choice. Do you want the Supra or do you want the GTR? I would have picked the GTR. So, yeah. I think I did play Toka, but I didn't get hooked to it. And Colin McRae, I did play Colin McRae. Um, but these are games I think I maybe had either rented them or um, traded them in. So, yeah, but Colin McRae, I think I did play that one quite a bit. Um, but I played a lot of the. Uh, what was another game that they had? Um, some of the more of the PlayStation uh, three games, uh, Grid and Shift, Need for Speed Shift. So yeah, but yeah. Mm, okay. Well, I'm going to drop off again. I thank everybody for watching and commenting. Matt, thanks for joining in. Um, and we are going to call it a night. And hopefully, again, if you have any questions about our opinions, or you want an opinion on this game, surely I'll drop an opinion on it. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great night. Again, don't forget to hit the like button and sub for more content. And thanks again. This is GLR Racer / Dougie. All right. Good night, guys.